Hello guys, and welcome back to NGB Retro. I'm Andy, and I am the old man that plays the old games, and the old games are still the C64 Mini. Here we are again. So, as I said, we're going to check out a few games on this system before we moved on to the next microcomputer or computer system that I've got to take a look at. But we're not going to hit up any of the preloaded games. What we're actually going to do is we're going to head down to my USB stick and we're going to check out Deathflood here. Now Deathflood, if you watched the unboxing and setup video, is a brand new game that's only come out in this year, the year of our Lord 2023, obviously, or your declaration of choice. And it's by Windigo Productions, as you can see, and it is a brand new C64 game. It is a kind of a puzzle platform game with fantasy vibes going on to it, where you have to collect keys and escape rooms before they flood. Hence Deathflood. Anyway, like I say, it's a brand new game. It is available to download for free on itch.io, and you can sideload it onto your C64 Mini, as we've done here, or if you have a C64 console, original C64 computer, you can actually load it into that as well. And you can buy physical copies that you can actually load into an old school C64 machine from the developer. So, again, as I've said countless times over these videos, it's great to see modern indie developers tapping into the potential of older hardware that I don't think developers from the day ever did. And like I say, Deathflood, hopefully you'll see that again, there's still some things we can get out of the old C64 that perhaps older developers didn't. I have given this a little bit of a run through, mainly because I wanted to check that it was functioning alright on the C64 Mini. So as you'll see, there's a story. We're going into an old castle, and obviously mucking about as old adventurers do with things we probably shouldn't. I mean, this is one thing that I don't think there was a huge amount of back in the day with these big intro sequences. Few games had them. It was rare that it was rare that many games had them, so it's nice to see, again, modern elements being introduced to classic systems. This must be the remains of the Necromancer. I'm going to mess with it, because that seems like a good idea. Yes, let's take its golden crown. That seems like a good idea. Adventurers in fantasy stories aren't really very clever, are they? Well, of course, suddenly the skeleton comes to life. I could skip all this, but I'm going to make you watch it. Skip ahead in the video if you want to miss it. Yeah, so steal the Necromancer's crown, and the Necromancer decides he's going to flood his castle and do a murder on you because you've stolen his stuff. I mean, frankly, I don't blame him. If someone came into my place and I had the ability to flood them and kill them in an instant if they started stealing my stuff, I'd be like, yep, on goes the tap. A trap! An evil mechanism starts flooding the dungeon with water. Not doing that again. Again, as with the videos I've done in this series so far, it's debatable whether I'm going to carry on playing the games beyond one session. We shall see. So here we go, title screen. So, one of the things about this game is there are a couple of setup options before you actually get into it, as there were with Hessian. So, we can change the audio, turn the music off, turn the sound effects off. There's a manual if we want to read that. We can change our character of choice. So you've got like a barbarian, or you've got like an Amazon character, and of course it's quite nice that you can then change the skin colour, which is really good. Again, most older games wouldn't have let you do any kind of customization to your character whatsoever. I'm going for the Amazon because through the playthroughs that I have had a go at this before, I found the Amazon to be a much easier character to use, because she's just a bit zippier than the barbarian. As you'll see, that's really beneficial. So you start. Yeah, don't do that. Don't fall onto spikes. They do kill you. I've done it again. Yeah. In fact, you know what? I'm going to just die and start this again, because I've done really badly. And I want to kind of show you a slight bit of cheatiness that you can do. So let's just die. You failed. There you go. So you can see that it's fairly easy to die. So the idea is, let's try again. You start off at one corner of the room, and the idea is you have to escape the room. So you've got a run and a jump, you can attack with a sword, and you get keys. And as you'll see, as you progress through the room, the floodwaters start to rise higher and higher. And there are coins that you can collect, and the idea is you have to make it through to the door at the end and push down to exit. Now once we've exited, I'm going to immediately go into the system pause menu, and I'm going to create a save state for the game. So I'm going to go into there, I'm going to save the state of the game to there, because this game is tricky, and if you're not quick about it, you can really mess things up. So there's some optional goodies that we could go and get from behind that mummy there, and this is where unfortunately the C64 Mini's joystick doesn't help itself, because it is quite tricky to figure out what direction you're pushing in sometimes when you want to make some quick movements. But oh god, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog all over again, isn't it? Don't drown. Oh, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have jumped. But the idea is, as you'll see, if your lung meter goes down to 0, you don't immediately die, but you do lose a heart. And certain points of the level will trigger the waters to rise higher. Now, I've obviously exited the room, but what I can do is I can choose, obviously, to load in my save state and go back. Try not to miss the key this time. Go back and just try and get in through the room without actually losing a heart. Now, I think what strikes me about a great deal of some of these modern microcomputer games is that visually and kind of almost audibly in some respects, they remind me of the kind of things that you'd perhaps get on like a Game Boy Color or something like that. Now, do I go to the left or do I go to the right? I've got quite a bit of time left on the floodwaters. So, oh, well, I hit the frickin' mummy anyway, and lost some health from there. As you can see, yeah, you make your choice, you decide which way to go, and you try and exit the room. Now, I actually picked up a health potion there, which was fine. So this one's a particularly tricky one. Let's save the state for this. Remembering to save your states on games like this is another fairly tricky thing. So we've got a lot of spikes going on up there. Oh, and you have to try and get upstairs as well, which isn't always easy on this controller. It's a bit like the old Castlevania games, where it felt very imprecise actually getting upstairs. Die, mummy. Grab that coin. Oh no. I don't think this is going to end well. No, I lost a heart there. So let's just save, load that back in and go back on that. But again, you know, for a game which will, if you're wanting to play it on a system like this or on an emulator, you know, that will cost you nout from itch, this is great. I would honestly have probably paid a couple of quid for this game as well. You know, it's always good to support indie developers. Indie games are legit games. Oh dear. And sometimes you'll find some indie gems which are perhaps better than big boy, what we might class as big boy games. Oh no. Ooh. Whew, made it. No, did lose a heart down that pit. I'm probably going to die there. That's fine. This is fine. Anyway, this is Deathflood. I really enjoy it, even though it's absolutely brutally hard as nails. Make sure you make use of save states on your C64 Mini or emulator. Obviously, they are not available on a regular C64, so God help you getting through this game without them. But it is a lot of fun. It's got that kind of puzzle element to it, and it's got some lovely visuals. I think they look really nice. I think the audio is great in it, and I think, you know, the developer's done a stellar job. And giving this away is crazy because, as I said, I will pay money for this. A game like this. Anyway, thank you very much again, as always, for watching. He's a beefy boy. I don't know whether he's going to hurt me badly. So, if you do like what you've seen, don't forget to subscribe to NGB for our future content. We're going to be doing more along the lines of these retro game systems. Oh, I've done him. So, you know, give us a subscribe and you will be able to get those videos when they drop on the channel. We've also got all sorts of other things going on, from our regular Let's Look At series to the occasional review, as well as other features that we're busy cooking up and concocting all of the time at the minute. Drop us a comment down below and drop us a like if you've enjoyed the video. And until next time, bye bye for now.